play by play. I'm HT, that's Danny. These are the charts. Let's get into it. So Danny, I just called you and I was hype as fuck, right?
Yeah, yeah, I could tell.
I'm in a jittery mood at the moment, and the reason why is I've been doing a lot of research about what we spoke about during our last podcast, which was blockchain as a service. Um, Dude, there are so many protocols being built that are completely quiet, and if you look at statistically how well they're doing in the bear market, most of them over a long period of time are actually in the green. They're doing well. These being your QNTs and the recent find that we found, Niblo, and some more that I just recently found. Um, Dude, this new sector in crypto, blockchain as a service, is going to be massive. The reason why I say this is there's a lot of talk about these legacy companies working in conjunction with these new names. So Alchemy Pay, for example, is in the Southeast Asian market, and what they're doing, let me pull this up. What they're doing is they're creating payment solutions between the fiat world and the crypto economies, right? And just recently, a couple of days ago, while I was streaming, it just mooned. And if you look at the OBV here, there's a lot of action happening. There's a lot of accumulation. If we zoom out, even on a weekly, look at that. Just a complete rise. Let's look at the daily. People are accumulating, man. People are accumulating. And the great thing about this name is that it has a max supply, 10 billion, and at the moment market cap is only 60 million. So it's a new name, completely quiet, and they're building and making um, um, they're making collaborations. So have you been looking at this at all, or
No, look, that's a new one to me, and like you said, there's so many projects, quietly building away, and so you'll see some new names pop up. You'll see some old names, washed out. Um, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of plays right now that are starting to set up quite nicely. Um, And yeah, look, they're all popping up. MACDs are starting to break out on the daily. We just need some more time on the weekly for things to play out a little more, but they're definitely setting up now, and right now is probably a good time to start hunting.
100%? And look, we're getting potential divergences here. It's retracing. This Alchemy Pay is retracing. Usually with crypto, with altcoins, they like this 78.6 to 88.6% retracement. So for me personally, I've got a bid in at the 78.6 for this name. Um, with my analysis, I just took the retracement, and guys, I streamed this the other day, a couple of days ago. I took the just a fib extension from fib retracement from the bottom here to the top, and I did a little chaos, and it looks like we've got a nice alignment of 78.6 and our ratio of 2.618, all at the same level. So I've got a bid here, and honestly, there's way more names. There are way more names, and I am hype. I am so hype for this. One
Yeah,
being
definitely sound hype.
um, one being this Aventus. Aventus is interesting. Let me tell you what they are. So Aventus, it's a layer 2 blockchain protocol that brings scalability, lower costs, and speed to Ethereum transactions. So because Ethereum has a scalability issue, this Aventus is targeting that. So as the blockchain network of choice for most businesses, its maximum transaction throughput is wildly insufficient, this being Ethereum. The economics of supply and demand have thus skyrocketed transaction fees, making them prohibitively expensive. The Aventus network solves that problem by letting businesses build on top of the Ethereum network with Aventus second layer protocol. So this business, this Aventus, is creating protocols for legacy businesses. This is massive, guys. This is massive. You're gonna get your Samsungs, your Huawei's, your AMD's, you name it. People are gonna start looking at these types of names, right, to invest in and to use to build their own blockchain, to build their own enterprise on the blockchain network. So just reading this further, with the Aventus network, applications can easily work with any other promising blockchain tech cross-chain by plugging into the Polkadot ecosystem, building on
Wow.
substrates. So now they're integrating cross-chain compatibility. So you're not limited to one blockchain. Now you can spread via the parachain Polkadot network. That's massive.
That's powerful. That is very powerful.
That's massive. And now, in terms of an investment idea, look at this. Dude, its max supply is 10 million.
And I was actually just looking at that on not Coinbase, on CoinGecko, and you're right, 10 million max supply with a 15 mil market
Market
cap.
cap.
Oh my God, this is absolutely insane.
Dude, this is gonna moon. This is gonna absolutely moon.
Yeah, we're not here to shill, but look, just based off of the technicals alone and the fundamentals combined, this definitely looks like something that you can put some money to work in. And again, guys, no financial advice, but for sure, man, this is definitely something that's caught my eye.
Dude, now speaking of technicals, let's look at the OBV, right? This is let's go on a daily. Look at this. It's a new name, but look at this. Just there's no selling. People are accumulating like crazy because they understand fundamentally because the market cap is so low and the max supply is so low. People are like, okay, this is just a simple supply and demand dynamic. There's a very limited supply. The more supply I have, the more people want it, the more likely I will make money out of it. So, on top of this, I took the retracement from the peak to the bottom, and we are in what we call, or what Mr. Beamish calls, reload zones. This is where your institutional players, your whales, are reloading. So they basically sold up here, and everyone that paper hands sold, and now they're going to accumulate here. So what I'm personally doing, Danny, is I'm waiting for another reload zone within the reload zone. So I'm waiting for this level here at $1.44. I actually put in a bid here. I'm waiting for this right here. What do you think of the technicals, man?
Yeah, well, look, the only thing with charts like this is, and that one's on listed on Coinbase, so there's not a lot of history going back. Um, when it comes to new charts like this, I wouldn't even say this is new. This has been out since 2018, but I would say that CoinGecko gives you a better picture. It's just obviously on TradingView, there's not enough data going all the way back, 4 years.
Mm,
So, but I would say that relatively speaking, it's pretty expensive. But yeah, look, it's dollar 70. It's still pretty cheap in the grand scheme of things. So
mm.
yeah, if you can definitely put some bids in down there, like you said, at dollar 40, that's a great place to pick some up and
And
start averaging in.
honestly, the reason why I'm really hype about this is there's another protocol that does a similar job on the Polkadot network, and That's this GLM. Sorry, not GM. MOVR. I believe that's Moonbeam.
Moon, no, it's Moon River, isn't it?
Moon River.
Yeah,
And
I've heard about Moon River, but that was the previous cycle. Um, yeah, I'd heard some projects that they had lined up, but obviously all that's been washed out now.
the reason why I say Moon River is if we look at it fundamentally as well. So let's look at it on CoinGecko. Moon River.
Oh
Um,
wow, yeah, very similar stats there.
extremely similar.
Just 2 or 3x the market cap of the previous one there.
So Moon River has a max supply of 10.5 million, and its market cap is 60 million. And Aventus is also 10 million, but its market cap is only 15. So we're in early here, guys. We're in early. So that's a name that I'm really, really looking out for. Another name that's actually popping right as we speak, that I'm hype about is this name here. Look at this.
Oh wow, yeah, it's popped up massively.
So I just drew this, and look at that. It's actually pumping. God damn it. So I'll have to wait for it to retrace. This is PNG. Now let's tell you guys and tell Danny what PNG is. Where are we? So PNG is a community-driven decentralized exchange built on the Avalanche network. So it's an exchange protocol, decentralized exchange protocol that allows you to trade assets on the Avalanche network. And what's great about it is that it also has a fixed supply cap. The fixed supply is, let's see, PNG is 540 million and the market cap is only 10 million.
Wow.
Nothing. It opened at around $16. Yeah. I'm actually just because I genuinely, Danny, I honestly just found this within the last 30, 40 minutes, just doing,
Oh, that rings a bell. Pangolin. That definitely rings a bell.
does it?
Yeah, because I remember someone talking about it last cycle, and yeah, it had something to do with Avalanche. And I was on I'd been using one of the Avalanche dexes, and
Hmm.
Pangolin was definitely a name that was on that. Was on the exchange as a tradable asset.
And guys, I
Um,
mean, if you want to look at technical analysis, look here. We've got a MACD divergence that was confirmed, right? And an RSI divergence that was confirmed. And then we got a W through the 50 mark. And look at that. After that W, look what we did right here. We mooned
yeah,
from
wow.
right here, right here,
And there's some nice W structure on the other side of that trend line
of
as
that
well.
trend line as well.
Beautiful.
I mean,
Couldn't really ask for a more beautiful
the perfect
piece
trade.
of analysis. Yeah.
What we say, what do we like to say? It's a no-brainer. As soon as we say this, let's see this, W on the other side, to MACD divergence, RSI divergence, W through the 50 mark, you'd be a fool not to buy it. So this still has potential. I mean, it's only gone 25%, right? And there's a lot of sentiment going around online on this network, on this exchange. There's a lot of talk going around about using decentralized exchanges um, where they could trade without having KYC, without having, you know, your data
AML.
collected. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, a few more that interest me today um, were LTX and EWT. EWT is an interesting one. Let me read you their what they are. So, Energy Web Token (EWT) is the native token of the Energy Web chain, a public proof of authority (EVM) blockchain specifically designed to support enterprise-grade applications in the energy sector. The Energy Web chain is operated and governed by 25 validator nodes from 15 countries, including utilities, grid operators, and startups. In addition to its native token, the EW chain supports all ERC standards. The Energy Web chain was launched in 2019, a global by Energy Web Foundation, a global nonprofit unleashing blockchain's potential in the energy sector, and its global consortium of members that includes upstream energy companies, utilities, grid operators, software developers, and technology vendors. What this company is doing is it's tokenizing energy. It's tokenizing um, your excess energy, um, your coal power plants, any energy lost during the transfer of energy between grids. This is a massive potential. It's actually a very revolutionary um, idea. It's kind of similar when you think about it to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically the the change of energy into a currency. It basically uses energy to create currency. This is a very similar idea. Interesting thing about it is again has a fixed supply of 100 million and its market cap, although slightly large, is roughly 163 million. Massive, massive potential. What do you think about this one, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an old name, and there's definitely potential there. Uh, but it reminds me of another project. I think it was Power Ledger that's trying to do the same thing where they're trying to tokenize, energy.
Mm,
I know that Power Ledger, they've got some contracts in Asia, um, in order to tokenize some of these energies, like you were talking about. Um, but yeah, look, I think there's definitely potential there. I think it's a bit early for EWT, um, but yeah, definitely looks interesting.
it's a very interesting name and it's a very revolutionary idea. If this succeeds, I mean, we're in this early, dude. We're in this early. And I'm waiting for a W on the other side of this weekly trend line to see whether if it breaks up or, it shoots up or breaks down. And that should come around November, which would be your Senate elections. There's
Yeah,
more there's more names. Casper
there's
Network,
so many. There's so many.
Casper Network also way more volume coming in. And Casper Network,
Yeah,
what do they do? Um, so it's a layer one general purpose blockchain. It's a proof of stake, um, and it again, it's mainly targeting institutional and enterprise clients, helping them adopt blockchain technology. So this reiterates our idea that blockchain as a service is going to be your next, you know, sector. Like DeFi was, like NFTs were. This is the next thing. This is the next
yeah,
thing.
definitely. There's so many different plays at the moment that are just all, culminating into this one um, massive thing. But let's also have a quick look at LTO because I believe that was the big one that popped out of all the altcoins. That might be the biggest gainer of today
Really?
or yesterday.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it was about 163% move, I believe, from the bottom.
Whoa.
Oh wow, even more.
Even more. 260%. Wow. How did I not have this on my list? What did they do, Danny? What's their story?
Well, it's an old name. It's I can't remember what they do, but I know that someone from TRI definitely was that was shilling this name back at the
Really?
lows. So I might have to pick some up because it's gonna pump. There's a lot of volume coming in.
Wow, look at this, guys. Look at this. Wow, man. Let's see what they do. Let's read their LTO network. Only a
I
400.
I know I know that it was recommended strongly due to the fundamentals.
Mm.
So it's definitely got a nice story.
So it's a blockchain protocol platform for creating decentralized workflow applications while maintaining data privacy and GDPR compliance. Developers and enterprises can use the LTO toolkit to either create new or integrate existing solutions and run them in a transparent, secure, and decentralized way. So it's another blockchain as a service protocol. That's brilliant.
And now I think we're starting to see a pattern. So basically, all of the ones that are starting to perk up with volume are these ones with, like HT is saying, these blockchain services. So we're definitely seeing a pattern here, and it's good. It's good to note, definitely.
It's amazing to know, especially because we're not in a bull market yet. As soon as we get in a bull market, you think this a 200% gain is going to be something? I don't know, man. What do you think? Is in a bull market? Will we see this way more often? It,
Oh yeah, and this LTO that just popped, this just reminds me of early days of back when things like Engine Coin and you know all those type of names were kind of pumping up. Um, and yeah, look, this is just the beginning. There's, it happens every cycle. You'll see some names just pop up, 3, 4, 500% in a single day, and those are the days where if you're a picker, if you're a good picker, altcoin picker, stock picker, if you just know if you're in tune with the markets, you can definitely make a killing just based off of rotating plays and rotating around in bull markets because you'll find that in the bull markets there'll be specific sectors that have their day in the sun. So
mm,
it's good to note these patterns and just get a feel for the market. Um, Obviously you won't catch all of them, but if you can catch some, you can make some real crazy plays.
yeah, man. And honestly, just wait until it retraces. Almost 100% of the time, they retrace. So if you're interested and you do your own research, listen, man, why not just pick up a little bit at around, 10 cents? It could be life changing. This blockchain as a service, we're seeing now, although there's a lot of hysteria about the economy or whatever, why? Why is there a lot of hysteria? Yet this sector, blockchain as a service, why is it pumping? Doesn't that kind of
Yeah.
tell you a little bit that, hey, there's something going on in the background with all of these
Well,
large legacy corporations?
HT, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
if you can pop my screen on,
yeah, sure.
I I do just want to note something while we're here. So this has been my thinking. This has been on my mind for a bit. So I'll pop this one on. Let me know
Yeah, you're
when you
you're
can
on.
see my screen. Can you see this? The Dixie US dollar index.
Yep.
So I've been doing some. I've had this on for some time now, and this is a weekly chart. So you can see how far that US dollar has come up
Massive.
since, yeah, since pretty much early 2021.
Mm.
You can see that, there's been so much accumulation. There's been so much, what would you call it? So much uncertainty due to Russia, due to certain circumstances where basically everyone's kind of parked their money into US dollars. And
Speaking of, sorry to cut you there, but just
yeah, no
just
worries.
to just to clear it up for anyone that's watching, what does Dixie indicate to these people? What does it show these people? How would you
Well,
explain? Yeah,
uh, how would I explain it?
yeah.
It's just it just tracks the US currency. Yeah, it's
It basically tells you where people are keeping their value. Are they buying euro dollars and holding their money in, they're holding their value in euro dollars or US dollars? So this is basic, think as the US dollar as a token, right? And people are buying the US dollar token. So there's people accumulating the US dollar. Hence why there's a rally. Is that a good
Yeah.
way to summarize that?
Well, not quite, but yes, you can see that there's so much accumulation. But look, I'm not worried about the accumulation. What I'm trying to look out for is, you know, I'm looking at this from another perspective where I think to myself, look where we are relative to
Mm,
where we have been,
yeah.
and I've I've drawn a couple of targets here, and I've got this red section that I've just highlighted, and we've tagged it actually. So we've just tagged this key level here at about 114, and you can see this potential div coming in now.
Mm,
If this gets confirmed and we get some structure here, I would say that this is a turning point
to
because,
the downside?
th yeah, think about it this way, HT. Why do you think that? So this is more of a inverse correlation.
Hmm.
Um, but if you think about it like this, does it make sense that because the US dollar has been in a bull market for about, I would say, a year,
Hmm.
maybe a little bit more, um, what has happened in that time that the US dollar has been pumping, essentially?
What has happened? Um,
Yes.
higher rates of inflation. There's a war going on.
Well, also in terms of traditional finance and crypto in general, any any type of risk on asset.
They're collapsing. They're
Yeah, so every risk on asset is has basically collapsed. So think about your Bitcoins, think about your stocks, think about yeah, pretty much anything that has to do with uh, risk um, as an asset.
mm,
So you can see um, heaps and heaps of stocks, heaps of altcoins. They've just been collapsing whilst everyone has been rotating all of their, I guess you could say, their portfolio into US dollars. But at this point, we're starting to hit, resistances. We're starting to get shifts. We're starting to get a change. And so what was interesting was that change, I believe, was reflected last, couple hours ago, last night. Pretty much within the past day, you can see how some of these stocks, some of these altcoins are starting to, bottom out and reverse. So would it make sense that if this starts to M out,
mm,
which I've drawn here previously,
mm-hmm,
because I've had a feeling that we've got to come up somewhere around here and start topping out, and then whilst we're topping out here in this section, we'll probably have a window for altcoins and traditional stocks and risk assets to have their little rally
mm-hmm.
before we're probably going to retest somewhere around here. Um, and we'll play it by ear from there. But look, I think we're definitely at a turning point somewhere around here.
Well, that's a great insight because that gives us a little bit of headroom to to see whether there is going to be a rally. And honestly, at the moment, markets after that CPI came out, it kind of firmed up. They kind of, although it dumped the day before, immediately there was nice greens. There were W's coming in. Technicals were showing, uh, um, showing that they wanted to go on the upside, and like you've got here on Bitcoin. So what are you seeing here on Bitcoin?
Yeah, that will that when that news came out, or basically when the announcement was made, you could tell, like I had that feeling that markets were red, but it was setting up as if this was just a fake out. They were just trying to fake the kids out,
Mm.
and we're actually going to get support here and actually maybe turn up a little. Um, so that's why I was thinking, this spot might not play out. We might get a little upside here as the US dollar
If
retraces,
it breaks that
and we'll have,
dashed
yeah.
trend
Yeah, I
line there.
believe, yeah, like we're getting into this apex, and look, we're still holding, and we still haven't gotten an actual breakout. You can see how the markets try to wash out, both sides as much as they can,
Mm.
um, just to try and do a little bit of fake out before they actually, before we break out to either side. Um, Look, at the moment, right now, the situation's changed. I would say last week or 2 weeks ago, we would have been calling for a lower price in Bitcoin and a breakdown of this triangle.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to think we've firmed up, and if we can get some momentum pushing up and some bulls coming in, we could see some nice short-term rallies heading into that November period.
And if you zoom in on the OBV there, how does it look?
It's bad, but it's trying to turn. It's definitely trying.
It kind of looks like the bears aren't as awake. They're not asleep, but they're not as active.
Yeah, and that goes for both sides right now. They're just
Mm,
kind of waiting to feel, which way the market wants to break at this point.
very interesting, man. Very interesting. Very hopeful
We,
as well.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, we can you can take over again with your screen. That's pretty much all I had to share.
Oh, great insight there, man. Great insight. Thank you for that. Honestly, that was what I wanted to cover today and what I wanted to show the good people that blockchain as a service is from my point of view, and I think Danny is kind of also seeing the picture now, that blockchain as a service might be the next NFT craze. So keep your eyes out, everyone. Keep your eyes out on this. Um, there's a lot of potential here, um, and there's more to come. There's more to come. So with that being said, did you want to add anything else, Danny? Or
Well, I mean, while we're on the charts,
yep,
I did want to quickly get into just two names off the top of my head.
yep,
Let's have a look at TVK.
TVK.
Yeah, that's had a bit of volume come in recently.
Oh
It
wow.
did get rejected, but it's definitely forming a nice base,
So
and
what
it's
is
definitely one to
TVK?
keep an eye on. Look, I have no idea.
Hmm. Well,
Look, I have zero idea, but I do remember screening it. It had really low market supply cap. It had a really low market cap, and it's
wow.
just one of those names that has been washed out. And you guys, you're going to see this everywhere. There's so many names out there that is washed out with accumulation volume, and look, that's all I look for. And so this one caught my eye this morning.
It's interesting because it's only got a 1.2 billion max supply, yet the market cap is only 16 million. That's that's really really good. Like uh, you can definitely accumulate here. And what is this? Is it TVK? Is that right? TVK?
Yeah, it was TVK.
Mm, interesting. It looks like it's a marketplace for comics and NFTs and virtual art. Um, very interesting.
I mean,
Very
for me, not a long-term play, but more of a shorter
short
term,
term. Yeah,
you know,
agreed, agreed.
short-term squeeze, short-term, you know, 2-3x gains.
Yeah.
Um, Another one I've got on the list was CTXC.
Ooh.
Um,
Old name,
and
right?
this one, yeah, and this one's, it definitely tried to pop up. You can kind of see a little bit of volume coming in to support, but yeah, it got rejected as well. But yeah, I
Uh,
think I'm definitely waiting for this to pop at
I
any point.
I mean, Danny, look at the OBV.
Yeah, the OBV is absolutely just it's it's
Ridiculous.
it's just cracked. It's just cracked.
Dude, no one wants to sell this.
No, and it's just washed out. Like it's just
Wow.
for me honestly, it's just waiting to 10x.
It's at the
Um,
bottom of its range, guys.
yeah, it doesn't get any more free than this. Even if it goes lower, I
L
mean, it's probably the best place to put your money to work.
Look at this. There's a MACD div. Price is going down. The RSI is also diverting. Boom. Oh well, not really. From back here, yes, you could take this divergence here. You could also, yeah, very similar. No, never mind. But hey, we've got a W coming in on the RSI. Oh, not really. It's trying to. It's trying to. It's definitely trying to. I'll keep my eyes out on this. This is I think I have it here. There we are. And you said it kind of mooned or no?
No, not really, but I did see a little bit of volume come in. So it's very promising
It
when
did a
that volume did
50%.
manage to come in. Yeah.
It did a nice 50%. It looks good, man. It looks
And
very.
also DSO, that's
Ooh,
coming back down. So I'm definitely keeping my eye out just to see if it does a deep retrace. If it does that deep retrace, I'll definitely try and sneak
look at
some in. And
that.
there's a gap on the VPVR actually at about 9. So look, I
$9,
think I'm
really.
gonna start. Yeah, I'll start my accumulation around there at 10 or below 9.
Let's
Um,
look at the VPVR. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. And traditionally, like we said, markets. I mean, altcoins like to test this 78.6 to 88.6 level. They like to test this a lot. And honestly, it hasn't really done much discovery here. I'm on a hourly. I should be on a daily.
oh, you can keep it on narrowly. That was a
Yeah.
nice view, to be honest.
Um, it hasn't done much discovery down here. It still wants to fill this area here. So that's a great name, Danny. That is a great name. So you have bids coming down at here?
Yeah, at the moment, no bids yet. I'm just waiting to get some capital come in.
Let's see. Like, are we getting any divergences or nothing as indicating it does want to retrace. Um, have you done any TO on this? Do you want to share what you've seen on this?
No, to be honest, it's just one of those names that, you know, has just been washed out
Yeah.
and low, very low supply cap and I think pretty low market cap as well.
What's the supply
And
cap?
I think the supply cap's 10 million,
Wow.
maybe lower.
Wow. Let's see. DSO. Wow, 10.8 million. That is mass. That's so low. And look how many people accumulated. The market cap is 100, approximately 180 mil. Jeez. And the volume is coming in if you look at the CoinGecko. Jeez. Hey man,
Yeah,
where
it's got potential. It's definitely got potential as a long-term play as well if they can get their stuff together.
there's a lot of talk, with Twitter and Elon, how he wants to make Twitter an open source uh, social network that is going to onboard crypto transactions and making it decentralized so that no one can control what's being said and no one is getting blacklisted or whatever. And I think that's the reason why this name has kind of pumped a bit because they're basically the originators of that idea, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. And
No,
it's definitely a newer concept um, that needs exploring.
that's great, man. That's great. Man, where are you going to get this type of value and these types of recommendations? Only on 2K1A, guys. Only on 2K1A.
That's it.
Um,
That's it.
so look at this. What is going
Yeah,
on?
I had my eye on that one just previously.
Look at that, dude. Oh my goodness. I mean, it looks like what we said a few weeks ago. It looks like we're gonna get our rally, our altcoin rally. At the
Yeah,
end.
we've been waiting months for
Yeah,
this altcoin rally.
yeah, and we were talking about it. We were saying that we're this time it's gonna be late October. Usually it was September in previous cycles, correct? And
Yeah,
now
that's
we're
what yeah, it was looking like it was setting up for September, but it's obviously yeah, definitely been delayed.
oh my goodness, that's amazing. Well, great stuff. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for joining us here on a quick stream. We just wanted to let you guys know what we're looking at. Please share, like, suggest what you would like to see, any more content, what would you like to see? So yeah, thank you all for listening. Check out our podcast. We're actually going to release it by the end of today. Um, Thank you all, and that's it from us. Danny,
Peace.
peace.